Okay, so this is example. You have two-step equations. You have to do two steps or show two steps in order to solve this, okay, and to communicate how you've done it. Now in this case here, we've got the summation of two terms, okay, we're adding two terms and it gives us 12, okay. So we know that term is 4, of course we need to figure out what that term is there. And if you think about it logically, something this is, we don't know what it is, you're adding 4 gives you 12. Well, you can figure it out quite easily, that's got to equal 8, doesn't it? Okay, because when you add 4, you get 12. But to show that on paper, okay, to show all the steps, what we do, of course, is we think about the opposite of positive 4, which is negative 4, okay, and we take away then the 4 from that 12 to see what's left over, to see what that 2x has actually got to equal to. So I'll write that as 2x is 12 take away 4. So then that leads us to showing that 2x is equal to 8. Okay, clearly we can see it by just looking at it. 2x has got to equal 8. But we've got to communicate that, right? We've got to show the sort of steps, the algebraic steps that we need to take. So that's the first step there. Of course, then to get the second step, then is to work out what x is. Okay, and you just got to appreciate what this means here, what 2x means, and 2x just means 2 times x. Okay, 2 times x is 8, so 2 times something is equal to 8, and you know, don't you? You know, it's got to be 4, isn't it? Because 2 times 4 is equal to 8. Well, how do we show that? How do we show that on paper? Well, again, you just got to think, what is the opposite here of this? Yeah, what's the opposite of what we're doing here? Now, 2x means 2 times x. What's the opposite of timesing? Divide, and that's what we do with the 8 there, don't we? We divide it by the 2 to actually work out what x is. Okay, and don't forget, in algebra we write divide like that, yeah, like a fraction, because that's what a fraction is, dividing. And 8 divided by 2 is 4. Okay, try and get the equal signs lined up as well. Okay, and you're working down the page. So let's look at the second one. Okay, so in this case now, 3x take away 5 is 13. Okay, so you've got to think here that this term 3x here actually has to be bigger than 13, doesn't it? Yeah, because whatever it is, you've got to take away something from it. You've got to take away 5 from 3x to give you 13, so it's got to be bigger, isn't it? So again, we think the opposite, okay, of taking away 5, which is adding 5. So if we add 5 onto 13, then we get 18, yeah? Okay, so 3x has got to equal 18, of course. You can just check it. Go through there and check it. It's got to be 18, yeah? Because you take away 5, you get 13. And again, then you think what we've got here, well, this means 3 times x, right? 3 times x, that's what 3x is. So 3 times x is 18. So what am I timesing 3 by to get 18? Well, we know our tables, okay? Of course, it's going to be 6, isn't it? How do we show it on paper? Well, because you're timesing, you do the opposite. So you divide this 18 by the 3 and you get your answer out to be 6. Okay, so there you can see there's 2 steps taking place. Okay, so this was the first step resulting in this, and then we have the second step then to get our final answer. There's the same going on here. The first step was to add the 5 and we got 18, and then the second step then was then to get x on its own, dividing by the 3.